Cornucopias is a cutting-edge open-world MMO set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and created a breathtaking new world in the sky. This fantastical realm is a system of floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny. Be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit.
Hey everybody, welcome to COPICafe. This is episode 119, and you've got Rob Gregg here and Josh Jones here to tell you what we've got going on in Cornucopias. We're going to talk quite a bit about what's coming up in the next build, which isn't too far away. So we've got an update on Solace, Esperanza. We're going to talk a little bit about the infrastructure and nodes, an update for you guys on that. A really killer partnership, which you might have heard about by now, but if not, we'll talk a little bit more on that. And then we've got a leak and some questions. So before we get too far into it, Rob, what are you drinking today?
Today, I'm just going to go for pure water.
Nestle Pure Life. All right.
What are you drinking, Josh?
I've got a green tea. It's pretty
Yellow.
tasty. It's like antioxidants in green tea, I think. So,
very pure.
All right. And a little bit of caffeine. Here we go. Let's do this. You want to pull up the presentation?
No,
Go from that. All right. Well, yeah, some of you know that we have successfully migrated to Unreal Engine 5.5.1. I think they knew about that, but we have now switched over to 5.5.3. Which is great because that resolved a few bugs. And obviously we've shown the video of the new character movement and motion matching. And we've talked a little bit about what 5.5.3 brings, which is huge for the quality perception of the game, etc. So that's pretty exciting. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, they threw this out. It was going to be 5.5.2, but then they quickly threw out another hotfix. We think this might be the final release. There may be a 5.5.4. I don't know, but we're getting pretty close. When they do these ones though, the last one was almost forced, so we had to quickly upgrade. But yeah, it's got tons of updates in preparations that we will start using in the future.
Yeah, we might as well just go into the next slides. I mean, it's showing you what we're going to talk a little on the next episode about. So all of these topics are basically the next build and related to the next build, which, you know, we're hoping something like that. But
yeah,
I can't announce timing on that really. But we're shooting for around there. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch to the next slide then. Good one.
So Solace, yeah. So we leaked a few of these images in the email.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people are subscribed to our email, but if you are, you would have seen these a few days ago. But there's quite a few additional information in here that we had our team weekly on Tuesday, so we nicked a few notes.
Yeah. Good stuff. Exciting things coming. So these crafting buildings it's talking about here are that's not implying that crafting will be available in the next release. However, these buildings will be. The plan is to have 2 per town um, and that's a step towards the crafting direction. In fact, taking more steps towards crafting direction, we've brought on a programmer joining us here pretty soon, specifically for focusing on crafting. And I think she starts, in a couple of weeks. So that will be exciting to get that ball rolling with crafting. You've got a good amount of notes here. This is good stuff. So that was a great meeting. Very exciting what we talked about this week. Stonemasons, blacksmiths, carpenters, artisans, textiles, chef, mechanics and farming, agriculture, botany, building. Okay. So different types of buildings that we might see in the next release. A future release will include some science buildings, electronics, biology, chemistry, and physics, which is exciting. That's bringing in different elements and skill sets and that are from the real world into Cornucopias, and allowing for more variety in that crafting concept, which is very exciting. And I mean, I don't want to minimize these animals. I know everybody's seen them, but the bear, the mountain lion, and the coyote, that can be dangerous when you're roaming around Solace or Esperanza, whatever it may be.
Yeah, we'll be running around hunting them. They'll be in and out. There'll be different animals depending on which, maybe even different sector, but there'll definitely be different animals across the different zones. So there'll be exclusive ones that are in maybe Solace or some that you only find in Esperanza.
Yep.
But, yes, and I think they will also be able to be used in crafting as well.
Alrighty, let's move on to Esperanza. Well, that is a beautiful image. Have they seen this one? Did this go out in the newsletter?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. That's just an idea of the quality, the love, the attention to detail, different types of plants, and what the environment could look like in some parts of Esperanza, which is, we've got a significant amount done. So the environment detail work for 1, 2, and 3 are in full production. So spinning up Esperanza happened fairly quickly this time because of the workflows that we created for Solace, which is great.
Yeah, we done 50% of them. That's laying down the groundwork, the hills, the valleys. We know where the towns are going to go. They're all the planning's done, but the whole teams, they're working on all 3 at the moment. So we should get some. Or we've already seen this image here, but we should get some pretty decent images coming out of all of the Esperanzas in the next few weeks, and then playable. I would say we're going to get a release in Q2 where we can actually run around and play with them internally, and hopefully that gets released pretty soon as well. We can start doing the land grab for Esperanza as well.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah, and the idea being just getting all this land available for people to claim as quickly as possible, and then filling it up with as much gameplay as we can, which is happening faster and faster as we go. So
yep,
that's great. Very exciting. All right, next slide. Talk us through it, Rob.
So two huge updates. Both of them been in development for over a year, each of them, and they're kind of linked in a way. The first one is obviously the infrastructure. So as people will know at the moment, you can choose to play in America or you can choose to play in Europe, and the way that works is that's what both of those are one big server, and they have a number of sessions running on it. So when you're playing the game, when you go into Solace, that is a level. When you go into the pavilion, that's another level. We've got 3 racing levels of the yellow, purple. So these are all running instances or executables on those servers from the same machine. So and that's traditionally how you would build them. But then as time has gone, as Fortnite has shown, what they then do with AWS is they have individual sessions that are launched up, and they run on AWS. So we have created our own version of that. So that means that if we can now have multiple people in different levels, and it's not dependent on one server. So at the moment, once we need, if we want to do 2 yellow tracks, for example, we need 2 servers. So what we can do with this in the future, and we've tested this now, is we can have say 1 Solace instance, and we could have unlimited amount of yellow tracks running and purple tracks, and they will just fire up whenever people are ready for them. So if there's no demand for them, then they'll all spin down. We can build it up to a level where we say in Solace, if we've got say 80 people in Solace 1, we can then spin up another one. So when more people come in, so we've got all these options that we're testing at the moment. And then that auto scaling, then that's entirely up to us at the upper limits. So this can, almost immediately we can have hundreds of thousands of players that go in when this is live. It just depends, obviously, how many we want to spin up and the cost of those. So that's the infrastructure updates, and that that has been so much work to get that in place.
Yeah, and we could have gone with, you know, a variety of different pre-made kind of platforms like Game Lift or whatever.
We tried them.
We're still
We trialed them.
we did, but the problem with Game Lift is it was good for session based, but not persistent world, which created some issues, or it might have been vice versa. Because we have a persistent world, but then we have session based with the races.
Yeah, well, we have a mixture. I mean, we could have done it with them, but we chose to go this way. There's a reason.
Yeah, to solve the problem of what it was primarily geared for, it was somewhat limiting, and so we needed kind of our own custom solution so that we could have the best of both worlds, which is what's going on in Cornucopias, which makes sense. But it was a challenging endeavor, and like you said, we can now get hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in the game, and they'll scale up on their own, which is huge. That prepares us for a big marketing push later this year when we're moving to alpha. So
yeah, and these will be kind of like EC2. They'll be on AWS, but what we can do is we can also have a mixture. We can say, well, maybe we only need a small server for racing, but we want a much larger one for say Solace, and where we want up to 100 or maybe 200 different players. So as that scales, we'll be able to scale that, and then obviously as we look forward, we'll might be able to also integrate this with some kind of node hosting if we decide to run some of these nodes decentralized, like remotely. I don't want to go into that too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes.
And then the file node updates, that's amazing how well that's come along.
Yeah, before Christmas, we've been running the file nodes to manage the staging build. So our community has been hosting the nodes decentralized, either at home or they've been having their own VPS systems. There's been a mixture, actually all over the world. So those were volunteered to be part of that. And now we've moved that over to actually production, and staging is both available now on those nodes. I mean, if you look inside those nodes yourself, you can't see anything. All the data is completely encrypted, and the game itself is broken down into about 4,000 different chunks that come down. So when you're downloading the game, you will actually download the game from multiple sources. They'll all come down, and then the launcher will put them all together. So that's a fully decentralized game distribution system that up to date, only staging has used that network, with the live game coming down from AWS. But from that next build, we now have the ability to download the full game to be fully distributed. So we're going to run it in mixed mode, obviously while we're still testing, and we'll get more and more nodes on board. We have 66 live nodes at the moment, but that's because they were kind of invited and volunteers. We're now going to invite everybody else who wants to run the node. Now is your chance, while all the rewards are going to everyone. So it doesn't matter if you have failings or not. Now is the time to set that up, because we're also working on performance rewards, and we will switch the performance rewards on in the near future, at which point the rewards then will be given for performance of those nodes. But at the moment, over the next month or so, now is the time to get your node up and running, and learn from the rest of the community everything that we've done.
Yeah, and I believe we were going to do an exercise either Friday or early next week where you could delete your current copy of the game, uninstall the current copy of the game, and then re-download.
Yeah, Scruffy's released a video, so go and have a look for that. That shows you how to install the node, and we also have now over 3 months of our community members, hundreds of our community members that have actually been installing the game, and they've gone through all kind of like the learning curve. So they're all ready to help the new people come on. But yeah, we're going to do pretty soon. We're going to announce an event where we want our node, our community to uninstall the game and actually download the game using the nodes all at one point. So it will kind of get as close to the release state for when the next build comes.
Yeah.
So we'll announce that really soon, and that will be a really good stress test for the system.
Yep. Okay, sounds good. Well, let's move on to the next section, which is the partnership. So you might have heard by now about it, but SuperVerse, which is, I believe, founded by Elio Trades, who Elio Trades, you've probably seen him on Twitter. He's around the same level of influence, I think, as Alex Becker. They're both very early in the space. They're friends. But Elio Trades started SuperVerse, and it is, I mean, they got enormous group of a community that they've built, and it's primarily on Ethereum, I believe. So this could give us good exposure on the base side of things, and we're very excited about the partnership. Over 800,000 or 790,000 in their community, somewhere around there, on Twitter. And then if you include all sources, it's quite a bit larger than that. But they're basically building a community around the super token, and the super token gives them utility, that community utility in other games. What that does for us is it gives new people access to our game and exposure to what we're building, a large amount of people that are gamers that would love to check out something new. So that's huge for us. And I'll just mention this, like, one of the things that's been on the forefront of our minds and conversation and had a ton of planning on is the utility of the Cornucopias token, COPI. So we have always had it in mind, really, as we started planning this, to gradually increase the utility of COPI by having all of our assets, ideally by the end of this year, all assets that we sell in our marketplace are sold for COPI token. And that is definitely our intent. However, with in keeping in mind the importance of utility, another thing that can increase the utility is taking a limited selection of assets and NFTs and player-owned assets and making them available for people that don't hold the super token, because what that will do is that'll bring new people into our community, therefore ideally also increasing buying pressure on the COPI token, or utility on the COPI token. So very exciting partnership, and we're I think it probably was announced prior to this going live, but we just wanted to give a little bit more context to that. I think it's great for utility. It's great for marketing for Cornucopias. It's great for getting us new gamers. It's just a good partnership all the way around, and I think it's going to be fun working with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first step for having other tokens within our game, which will be really important in the future, especially when we have custom domes. Um, and then in the future, we may have NFTs that are cross projects as well. So this is the first step into that. We're multi-chain now. Will be uh, not necessarily multi-currency, but you know what I mean. That is it's a small step.
Yeah, I mean the primary token's still going to be Copy,
Yeah.
but we're making moves to bring in other large communities, and this is one way of doing it. So it's going to be fun. Let's see what happens. Uh, okay, that brings us to the leak, which I'll just go ahead and pop that up here. Are you ready, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. Okay. So this is the armory, and it is a work in progress. Um, it's obviously showing different AR rifles, and I see a couple backpacks, some handguns. Really well done. But yeah, this is in preparation for combat and what we have coming with combat.
Yeah, well, more on this next week or the next episode when
Yeah. This is just a little teaser of
talk
a little
about
bit
what's
more of
coming.
what we'll talk about next week,
Yeah.
which is pretty exciting. So a lot of leaks coming up related to uh, the current build that we're in process on, because we just have a lot of exciting stuff coming out with the next build. So we'll just be giving you guys little teasers and tastes of what's coming. We're really excited about it, and we're really excited about combat. So there's some fun stuff. We'll give more detail next week on some of the combat that's headed our way as well. Okay, um, let's move into questions. I got a couple questions for you. Koi Bacon of the Knights wants to know when you will introduce the bacon burger to the Burger Barn menu.
I don't know the answer to that, but I will speak to the proprietary of.
I mean, there aren't too many burger places that don't have a bacon burger. So,
I'm sure
yeah.
it'll be a thing. Whether it'll be called a koi bacon burger, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We are influenced by our community.
Yeah, we do like to have community involvement. So we'll see there. And then let's see, will there be a glimpse of Esperanza in the next release? Well, we kind of already covered that a little bit, right? But
No, we never really spoke about it.
well, we
We're going to speak about
well,
that.
we didn't speak about glimpse of Esperanza, but we just showed a taste of it just 10 minutes ago.
That was actually Esperanza. That wasn't a glimpse.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah. So let's break up the confusion. There's going to we're actually working on Esperanza itself. So Esperanza is like Solace, 3 giant 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer worlds. So you will have those.
Light is flickering.
But in the short term, we will also have a glimpse of Esperanza. So just like we did a glimpse of Solace, we will have a small dedicated area that has the artwork of Esperanza, and that is going to be in the next build.
Yep.
And we will talk about that in the next episode because that area is on fire. Even the glimpse has got so much in it that a glimpse of Solace didn't have. So that's it needs a whole episode to talk about it.
It's a big glimpse. I'm excited about it too. And so yeah, thank you for clarifying. There is a bit of a difference there for sure. There's the actual worlds of Esperanza, which we just recently showed, 3 different domes in production, and also the glimpse. Okay. Next question from Blackstone of the Mafia. And the previous was Koi Bacon of the Knights. Blackstone of the Mafia wanted to know if there's a library of logos community members could use to make patches for personal use. Yeah, there's a there's a link on the footer of the website that'll take you to a whole asset library, and it's got the branding kit in there as well, which would have all the different logos, and then it's got all sorts of game shots, game videos, stuff like that. So yeah, just go to the website. You can find it there in the footer.
Yeah, they're free to use, and the community can do whatever they want with them.
Yeah, absolutely. We are trying to empower you guys, our community, to share as much about what we're doing as you can, and give you some quality assets to do so with that. All right, last question. Pixel locations is the asker. Can I please ask, will the fighting side of the game be in its own area like the racing, or will it be widespread through Solace 1, 2, and 3, and so on?
Yeah, so there'll be different types of fighting. There'll be shooting and all kinds of weapons like pistols and rifles, and we'll like we said, we'll definitely talk a lot more about that next week, and the leak definitely hints at that. So there'll be dedicated areas like the shooting range, which is coming in the next build. Then there's going to be free roam areas where you might run into creatures, so that you don't know when you're gonna meet them. And then there'll be other kind of dedicated areas which may need you may need to raid with all your friends, where you go to a certain point, or there may be surprise areas where maybe a rift appears, and then some quantum monsters come through, so you don't know where they're going to be. So there's all different types of gameplay, and I think we're also going to build other areas similar to the shooting range where there'll be individual experiences. So whether that's another form of shooting, we've ideated internally about maybe some kind of maybe paintballing or laser quest area, just a bit of fun that might happen. We don't know whether that's going to happen. That's not solid, but yeah, all different types of kind of entertainment, combat to survival, adventure combat. We're going to have them all over the place.
Yep, exciting stuff. Good to know. There's some areas that we can go in Cornucopias that'll be safe, and there's some areas that are going to be a little bit more risky. So yeah,
we spoke about that in the past. So as the towns are building up, they're building up what we call a safe zone. So an influence sphere. Get my words right. And when you're in that area, you'll be safe from combat and all kinds of other stuff. But as you go out of that area into the wilderness, because the 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers is huge. As you go into the areas that are not safe, that's where you could maybe you're attacked by some of the creatures, or maybe it's free for all against other players. But you will know when you come in and out of these safe zones. So if you don't like those kind of surprises or those kind of combat situations, then you just don't need to go into them. You can just stay in the safe zones. Yep. So we'll cater for all types of player.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Good stuff. Any final words, Rob?
Final words. The new build has definitely taken longer. We've taken longer to build this for a reason, because we've got all these updates, we've got infrastructure, we've got file nodes, and we've got a lot of the stuff coming. We want to put more and more stuff in this build, but obviously that not everything will make it. But we'll also add some more surprises that we will actually talk about. So those will come out. And there's going to be so much gameplay in this next one. It really is going to be an exciting build.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to it. Alrighty. Well, that's it for this episode. COPICafe 119. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't care what you say. Don't care what you say. Got me in a game all day. Game all day long. What the doctor say? Play till the sun goes away. Faster than a torpedo. Right up to Toledo. Bite like a mosquito. Be yourself.
buildings that you'll be able to see. They'll be scattered amongst the different towns. And so I need to shut my dog up. He just sat there growling in the background, doing my head in.